Hello everyone, it is Tara Sin. I am here with Kevin Sorbo at the Tampa Bay Comic-Con. So, Kevin, Hercules is like Superman in many ways. Every generation gets one. What was it like to be picked as Hercules?
I gotta tell you, I gotta backtrack a little bit. 3 months before we got Hercules, I actually booked the part of Superman, Lois and Clark. Dean Cain and I were down the last two roles for that. We did a screen test with Terry Hatcher, and then I got it, and then 24 hours later the studio said, oh, we changed our mind, we're going with Dean Cain. So talking about the highs and lows of acting, because trust me, that was devastating. But 3 months later, I got Hercules. I always give Dean a hard time. I said, yeah, my show in 7 years became the most watched TV show in the world. Your show got canceled after 3 seasons, so I'm happy the way things turned out. But Dean's a good friend. We've actually done a couple movies together, and we have a Western we're starting to film together.
Oh, really?
And, we're shooting in New Mexico called Trailblazers. We start filming this November.
I will have to make sure to watch for that because he's my Superman.
Oh, he's awesome. Dean's a great guy.
So you've worked with a lot of greats, Richard Mould, Tina Torres, Lucy Lawless, Michael Hurst. Who was your favorite to work with, and who was the worst?
Well, Michael Hurst was awesome to work with. Michael was like my brother on set. We worked, 12 hours, 14 hours a day, every day for 7 years. So I'm not going to say who was the worst, but then I think that I got to give a nod to a guest star named Sam Jenkins, who ended up being my wife. I got 3 kids, and 20 years later, we're still together.
So I follow most of Sam Raimi's work. What was it like to work with Bruce Campbell?
Bruce was a hoot. Bruce and I. In fact, I just got an email from him, a text from him about 3 days ago. We keep in touch. I mean, Bruce is Bruce. I mean, he's just such a funny guy. He's crazy. We had a lot of laughs on set, even without him. But he came and just added that much more on the set. I think people could tell we laughed a lot on the set of Hercules. We had a very good time. And Bruce was always a blast to work with. He and I, Michael, actually all started directing on Hercules. That's where our directing debuts happened on that series. So we keep in touch all the time.
Awesome. So, let's see. The show was a great hit.
Uh-huh.
And so, what were your...
brag, we became the most watched show in the world by season 3. 176 countries. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it really is. I never missed an episode. Actually, I'm rewatching the series right now.
Thank you.
What were your emotions when it came to the show ending?
It was brutal. I knew it was coming to an end. I had already signed the contract to do Andromeda, so I knew season 7 was our last season. You can't help it. I mean, the last day of filming was kind of tough because I realized it was the end, because they become your family. You're with them more than you are with your family, you know? And the last scene was with Bruce Campbell and Tracy Lords, actually. So we shot a little bit out of order because Michael had a play to do, so we couldn't do the very last scene inside the studio. And George Lyle was our first AD. He announced that is a wrap on not only season 7 of Hercules, but on the series completely. And I walked back out on the stage of the studio, and everybody that was part of Hercules, everybody from behind the camera were there. They presented me with this amazing, Michael and each with these amazing swords that our prop department made that went on to win all these Academy Awards in Lord of the Rings. And I tried to get out saying goodbye to everybody and saying thank you. I lost it.
I bet.
It's emotional. It's emotional. There's no question.
Now, was it much of a change to transition from Hercules to Dylan Hunt?
I think the biggest transition is when they cut my hair. Because I remember my hair was so long, and it was weird. When they first cut it, I look at the first season of Andromeda now and go, oh, they actually cut about 2 more inches off. But they cut like 9 inches off initially, and that freaked me out because I was so used to having long hair. So that was the weirdest transition. But no, it was a good transition in terms that I didn't have to work 18 hours door to door anymore. I went down to 12 hours door to door, which is a long enough day for any job. And because we had 6 other actors, so they kind of spread the wealth. There's always character lines. There's always different show arcs with different characters. So that helped a lot. But I still love doing it. I mean, to be able to play the first captain ever created from Gene Roddenberry after Captain Kirk to play Captain Dylan Hunt was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I know that you are a Christian.
Yep.
What was the movie God Knocks is God's Not Dead like to work on it?
The first one I did really came from Dallas Jenkins. Dallas Jenkins is now doing a series called The Chosen, which has become massive. He sent me the script for What If, and I read it, and I said, who's playing the part of Pastor Ben in this? Because he just wanted my opinion. He said, oh, he named this actor, that actor. I said, no, I'm playing it. He goes, man, I can't afford you. This is so low budget. I said, I don't care. Pay me whatever the union says you have to pay me the least amount of money. And I loved it. I've done 67 movies to date, and that is my top 3 movies. God's Not Dead came about 2.5 years later, became a massive hit. But my book, What If's a better movie. But that sort of opened the door for me. But it really comes down to the writing. I thought the writing was great in it. I don't know. It was just a great story. I mean, it touches you. There's redemption. There's hope. There's love. There's laughter. What do we need in the world more than anything right now are those things. I mean, look what we're doing to everybody. I mean, it's just, there's so much hate and anger out there and divisiveness right now. And I'm just saying, guys, let's find a way to bridge the gap here and get past all this ridiculousness that we're doing to the world right now and destroying people's lives. It's just sad to me.
Yeah. Now, I follow you on Twitter. I have for about 2 years now since I found your account. One of the questions I had originally written down was supposed to be for the end, but I have a couple more about, your faith after this one. There are people on there, and I know you've seen it because you've responded to a few, that say that you're a has-been, that you're just trying to stay relevant, and, that you're only saying what you say because, blah. What do you have to say to them?
I feel sorry for these trolls. I mean, if they hate me so much, why do they follow me?
Exactly.
And if I'm a has-been, I want to talk to these guys. I want to know what these men and women do for a living. I really do. What do you do to make the world a better place? What do you do? I do independent. They've probably never seen any of my movies. I've shot 67 of them. They probably have no idea I'm shooting movies. I don't care if they do or not. But I look at that and go, okay, I'm still shooting at least 3 to 4 movies every single year for the last 16 years. I have the #1 after-school program in the state of California called the World Trip for Kids. I don't get a penny for this. I work with over 12,000 kids in the inner cities to give them a program of hope and love and laughter. So I go, okay, so I guess I'm not doing nearly as much as what these guys are doing. So I would love them to send me what they're doing with their lives. What are their jobs like? What are they doing? What foundations that they do? What do they volunteer to make the world a better place? I'm sure they must be doing something vastly more superior than what I'm doing, because they tag me for being a has-been and doing nothing. So if I'm a has-been still shooting 3 to 4 movies every year, and I just did a movie with Dennis Quaid, and I'm about to go to Canada to shoot another one, then I go to New Mexico to shoot a Western with Antonio Salvato and Dean Cain, and then from there I go to shoot a family movie about horses in Branson, Missouri. If that's being a has-been, then that's fine. I'll take the title. I'm happy to be a has-been.
So what exactly brought you closer to God in the past 10 years?
I think it was longer than that. I suffered a series of strokes. I had an aneurysm way up here in my left subclavicle that exploded my body. I was unaware of it. And sent thousands of blood clots in my arm, but it sent a series of clots in my brain. I almost died. Lucky to be alive. It took me 3 years to recover from it. And that was through faith, that was through strength, that was through my own strong will, it was through my wife, it was through all positive people in my life. So I wrote a book called True Strength, My Journey from Hercules to Mere Mortal, and How Nearly Dying Saved My Life. And it's a good read, and that's amazing to me. I sold them all out already here. I'm amazed how many people come up to me and say, look, I suffered strokes, or I'm a cancer survivor, or a car crash, or whatever it may be, and they say, your book made me stop feeling sorry for myself. Because the whole idea of the book is not to let anyone set your limitations, especially yourself or the trolls out there that hate their own lives. So those kind of people, I gotta go back to the trolls real quick. I actually feel sorry for these guys, because I honestly think these are incredibly unhappy, angry people, and they hope that they, with all their negative and hate towards somebody like me and other people like me, that it makes them feel better. It doesn't. It just makes them more angry. They want to drag you and me into the black hole of their lives, and it's not going to happen. I feel sad for you guys, and I'll pray for you, because you guys need it more than anything else, because it doesn't affect my lifestyle whatsoever.
One last question.
Sure.
For the youth of today that are hearing so much from the left about, don't need to go to church, don't need to listen to, what do you have to say?
We've been doing it for decades. Started back in the 60s. We took the Bible out of the church in 1964, and we give the Bible to prisoners. So tell me, how does this work again? Tell me how this explains. Do we take it out of the church to make sure we can give it to them later? I'm taking it out of schools to give it to later in the prisons. The mainstream media, unfortunately, and Hollywood runs the culture. Politics is downstream from culture. Hollywood runs it. You see the movies they put out. You see the anger that's in these movies, and the hate and the violence. I'm not a prude in any way. I'll go see, there's a lot of variety movies that I enjoy. But I want to do movies that have a positive message of hope and redemption and laughter, love, forgiveness, things that we don't have in this world right now. Why we're teaching kids in schools what we're doing. This started to happen back at least 30 years ago. It's sort of accelerated on itself. We're going longer than that. But the last 15 years, it's just gone crazy with the public education system. When I was in school, teachers didn't tell me who to vote for. Teachers didn't tell me to believe in God or not believe in God. It wasn't just, it was not there. And if you're a math teacher, teach math for crying out loud. It's college professors, it's insane what we're doing to kids right now. And by the way, masks on kids, it's child abuse, all right? It's child abuse. The chance of any of us dying, they say that I'm an anti-vax guy. Look, I believe, here's the one thing I'll agree with, I'm a pro-life guy. Ready for these pro-choice people? I believe pro-choice, here's your pro-choice. Wear the mask if you want, don't wear it if you don't want to wear it. Get the vaccine if you want, don't get it if you don't want to want it. I don't care which side you want to do it on, but don't push people either way, and that goes for both sides. Don't have a battle on either side of this. You make up your, my body, my choice, that's what it is. If you people believe my body, my choice for pregnancy, no. If it was your body, you'd be dead. It's a different body inside your body, okay? But the thing is, we gotta keep fighting back and be as organized as they are without the anger and the hate that they have. We got to do it in a loving and caring way, but people don't want to hear that. It's unfortunate, and we need to wake up and fight back.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.